Hi there. The last battle of Gog and Magog. The book of Revelation was written primarily to inform the first century church about the things that would take place shortly, and more specifically, the persecution the Christians would encounter against the beast, the false prophet, and the harlot. The purpose of Revelation chapter 20 is not to give a detailed account of the end of the world, but John writes about the dragon's final rebellion in the last day. Revelation chapter 20, verses 1 to 3, describes 1,000 years during which Satan is bound and the conditions and meaning of the binding of Satan. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. He laid hold of the dragon, that serpent of old, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. And he cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal on him, so that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years were finished. But after these things he must be released for a little while. Again, the 1,000 years are symbolical and not literal, and represent this current age of victory for the Christian church. It does not refer to a literal 1,000 years or millennium of Christ reigning on the earth from Jerusalem, as alleged by premillennialists. God's people today reign in much more relative peaceful times than in the past, where the church experienced exceedingly fierce persecution. However, Satan will be unleashed again for a little season to unleash an end-time onslaught on the Church of Jesus Christ, also referred to as the Battle of Armageddon. Satan with fury will attempt to deceive the nations. It appears that the end-time church will suffer deceit through heresy and proliferation of false prophets, just like in the time of the first century believers. Satan will try to take advantage of the opportunity in a last-ditch effort to crush the children of God and lure some away from the faith through deception. At the very least, Satan will try to nullify the effectual transforming power of the gospel in the hearts of people and allow them to settle for a form of religion. The dragon will unleash his last strong attempt to overthrow the kingdom of God. Consequently, there will be a physical battle and the triumph of Christ over the dragon, known as the Armageddon War of Gog and Magog. Revelation chapter 20. Now when the 1,000 years have expired, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, whose number is as the sand of the sea. This is the final battle between Satan and Christ, and will take place in the last day. The dragon and his evil seed will ultimately be overthrown, and together with his followers he will be cast in the lake of fire. Revelation chapter 20. They went up on the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. The devil who deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet were. And they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Revelation chapter 20, verses 9 to 10. The Great Tribulation marked the end of an era or age and culminated in the destruction of Jerusalem, the temple, and the dispersion of the Hebrew Israelite nation in 70 AD. The Battle of Armageddon is yet to happen in the future and will mark the end of the world as we know it. God bless.